Hariom everyone, welcome to this class of Kathopnishad. We'll start with the chanting first. Sahana Vivatu Sahana Punatu Saha Viryam Karvav तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषवहै ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ गणानां गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आन शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः So, welcome to this class on Kathopnishad. We are now into the third Valli of the Dvitiya Adhyaya, second chapter, part 3. And we had looked at the first verse and we had roughly covered the part where we had tried to understand how this Brahman has manifested the universe, and that comparison is being made to the tree, and how this simile, how this example is apt or fitting, right? We looked at the 9 different comparisons that we could make. Of course, Bhagwan Shakracharya in his Bhashyam has given more, but we are covering most of the important ones we have done in the last class. So now we'll just understand the rest of the words also. ऊर्ध्वमूलो अवाक्षाखः एषो अश्वत्सनातन तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिता सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत् ऊर्ध्वमूलो अवाक्षाखः एषो अश्वत्सनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेव अमृतम मुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिता सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन. So this urdhva mula, this tree with the root in the higher realms. We saw that urdhva means normally upper, but in it means in the sense of this Brahman manifesting the world. So the root of this world is Brahman, and Brahman is in the, you can say, in the more subtle realms or more superior realms. So we use the word superior instead of using the word as higher or upper, because upper means a lot of people have this, you can even see drawings of this tree in the reverse. Ulta ped khada hua hai. There is a tree with the roots upwards and the stem downwards. That this is the depiction. But the more apt description is the tree in the right sense, but the moola, the root is belonging to this Brahman only. So this is a very, very important verse, because from here we can derive how this knowledge that we are being given, that has been given so far, and after continuously repeating this many, many times, how is it applicable in our lives? Because mostly, most people know that what is this knowledge, but to when it comes to application, most of us are failures. Yeah. All. So we have to learn how to internalize this. So first we just look at the meaning of this verse. So when we have earlier studied this, we saw the main part about the comparison, how this tree represents the the sansara. Huh? So this is how. So with this, if you look at this urdhva mula, ashwataha. So this world is like an ashwataha tree. This universe. Huh? I am prapanchaha. So, so this is ashwataha. So you have to add eva. It is like and not exactly. The world is not a tree. It doesn't appear like a tree. Always there is symbolism. No? There is a lot of symbolism, and this symbolism shows how something that is not easy to comprehend. By symbolism it is related. Now some people, they make silly comments, like someone says, show us how the earth is being supported by Sheshnag from the space. I don't see Sheshnag. So all kinds of weird arguments they use. So you have to understand the essence. No, Sheshnag represents Shesha, what remains after everything has been collapsed. So that represents the invisible essence which is supporting the universe. And Nagaha represents Sarpati, the one that vibrates, one from whose vibration everything is born. So that vibration coming out from that primal essence is supporting the universe. But we digress. So let us come back to this. So here we see that this symbolism is of the tree, which what type of people tree? So sanatana. So anadi tattvat, chir pravitta we say, or adi antarahitam. So it is without any beginning or end. That is sanatana, eternal, which will not be naturally destroyed. It will go on and on. And even death is not the end, because again rebirth is there. So even pralayam is not the end for this creation. Then re-srishti will happen, huh? Recreation. I'm not using recreation because it will convey recreation. So re-srishti, yeah, another kind of another creation will follow. Huh? The cycle will follow one after the other. Hmm. So because of that, it is said to be Sanatana. And this Sansar Vriksha is Urdhva Mulaha. The Mulam, the root we saw, or the Adharaha, the support, is Urdhvam, it's Brahman. So the word Urdhvam has got a secondary meaning here. We should not take the primary meaning here. The primary meaning of the word Urdhvam is Bhavara, we saw. But why we cannot take that meaning? Because Brahman cannot be up or down. Brahman is all pervading. Therefore, you cannot take the primary meaning of the word Urdhvam, because Brahman is not up or down. You have to take the secondary meaning. So, which is Brahman. So, therefore, Urdhva Mulaha means Brahma Mulaha. Then the question comes, how can you say the secondary meaning is Brahman? Well, no, why you are saying it? Because it is he is your favorite, because you study him all the time. Why cannot I take something that is my favorite? Why cannot you take it as coffee? Coffee is my favorite. So that is, so he says, so therefore, on what basis do you take the secondary meaning? Some reason must be there. Huh? We say the word urdhva means high, up or above. Word high or above are used to indicate the superiority. So anything superior, no, it is said to be of higher quality. Like he is in a higher cadre, this person is of lower cadre. So it is a what we call a qualitative gradation. Qualitative gradation. So similarly, urdhva means whatever is qualitatively superior. It is called above. So Brahman is the most superior thing in creation. Therefore, urdhva means Brahman. And there is nothing superior than Brahman. Everything is contained within Brahman. So higher in terms of its greatness. And again, the word high or above is used to convey something which is very subtle, also, we saw. Huh? So, very subtle for understanding. So, like when you say today's class was very high, it went above my head. So, that is durvigyatam, incomprehensible or subtle. What it is difficult to understand. So, what is the subtlest thing in creation? We say Brahman. Therefore, Urdhva means Brahman, because it is the highest and subtlest. So, therefore, Urdhva Mulaha means Brahma Mula, the root. The universal tree has a nourishing root out of which everything is being nourished day in and day out, and therefore it is also not visible. And then Avak Shakaha, the branches are lower. So again, this lower is in the sense of inferior. So that is superior, this is inferior. So here also the word Avak means lower. So not in the taken literally, not in the sense of spatial sense, in the sense of space, but it is qualitatively of a lower grade. It is inferior. So why is the creation inferior and Brahman superior? Why is it inferior? Because Brahman is eternal, huh? Sanatana, and the creation is subject to arrival and departure, right? This creation also is ever changing and ever refreshing because Brahman is there at the root. If the root is gone, this creation is gone. Hmm. So therefore, Brahman being Satyam, it is superior. He is ever present reality, while the world is Mithya, it is inferior. So, hmm,
Then, then how is that inferior? Whose root is from?
hmm.
How can we inferior?
Inferior because it has been manifested with form, akar ke saath. So when it has been manifested with form, then it will go away. The form will also go away. So that is why it has a temporary life. Even though his essence is Brahman, but the form will go away. Right? The Brahman doesn't have form, so he's always going to be there. So that is why. That is the difference, right? So now therefore, avak shaka means endowed with inferior or you can say perishable branches. Perishable. That is the creation. Creation is perishable. That is why it is said to be inferior. So tat brahma, that urdhvam brahma. So the word tat does not refer to the sansar vriksha, but tat here refers to the root, root of sansar vriksha, tat moolam, which is invisible, which or you can say which is the support. So Tat Brahma, that is that root of the creation is called Brahman. And the invisible support of the creation, what is the nature of that Brahman? Why do you say Brahman is superior? Tadeva Shukram. Tadeva Shukram. Shukram, you can say Shubhram or Shuddham. So while the creation is full of many impurities, Ashuddhi, so there is Punya Karma, there is Papa Karma, and there is Mishrit Karma Phalam. So all kinds of impurities are there. So many impurities in the creation. But the Adhara Brahman is not affected by any of the impurities, right? So nahi adhyasta gunena. So just as this the dream world does not afflict the adhara, the waker is the support, the of the one from whom the dream world originates. So the dream water will not wet the waker, or the dream impurities do not sully the waker. Therefore, Brahman is shuddham, spotless, without any impurity. And then Tadeva Amritam Uchyate. That Brahman is said to be Amritam, immortal. So by saying Tadeva Amritam, that alone, Tat Eva, that alone is immortal. So here Yamadharmaraja is indicating everything else is mortal. So बाकी सब जो है अस्थायी है, मृतमय है. Everything else is with endowed with death. Huh? So therefore, what should be your attitude in life? Don't hold on to the universe. Don't hold on. Don't try to hang on to the branches which will break down. Like uh, we had the story of Kalidas, no, cutting the branch on which he is sitting. So ultimately, it will fall down. So therefore, these branches are not meant for support. So hold on to the root. Then you are safe. Huh? Therefore, hold on to the Lord. Then what about others? The people around you, you entertain them, you relate with them, you love them because you are the same essence as them. You help them, but do everything except holding on. What is holding on mean? What does holding on mean? Holding on means having expectations, having some wanting to get back something in return. That is holding on. So because when that person goes away, we are sad or depressed, or it can be an object, anything, whatever be the reason for our holding on to anything. So therefore that is the teaching. If you want, you have to take something solid as a support. If you go to Haridwar or wherever your Ganga Ma is flowing, and you go to take a dip in the water flows so fast, you will get carried away. So they have put up chains on the side. You hold on to that chain and you take a dip, right? And then you come back. So then you are able to get back and you are not carried away by the water. So therefore, hold on to the Lord, hold on to that Brahman, because the river flow, the flow of samsara, it is so intense, it will carry you away, it will drown you. So therefore, you have to hold on to the chain of Brahman, and enjoy the river bath, enjoy samsara. So similarly, hold on to Brahman and enjoy your life. Instead of Brahman, anything else you hold on to, you will be swept away in the current. So tasmin sarve loka shritaha. All the 14 lokas, they are based on that Brahman only. They are supported, you can say, no, the supported by that Brahman. So since Brahman supports the whole universe, it is not very difficult to support you who are those of us who are few kilograms. We like to say few kilograms. Those of us are overweight, then we like to say yes, we are a bit more than that. So therefore, we say tasmin sarve loka shrita sarve. So all the lokas, not just individual beings, all the different worlds are situated. And na atyeti kaschana. There is nothing in the creation which is outside. Na atyeti. Nothing beyond, nothing more or nothing exceeding this. And nothing can exist outside Brahman. Just as like no part of the dream world also cannot exist outside the waker. Everything is in your mind only, in you only. So even the farthest dream star you see, it is within your small head only. You're seeing a star so many light years away in your dream, but it is still in your head. So, because the very existence of the dream object is given by the waker alone, the waker provides existence to all the objects, right? So, similarly, the existence in any object is borrowed from that Brahman only. Therefore, we say satta, spurti, pradatvat, sarvam, brahmani eva, adhyastam tishtati. Everything, satta, existence, spurti, movement, pradatvat, because it provides. Therefore, everything else is a superimposition or an appearance upon this Brahman. So then Nachiketas may wonder why I am asking about Atma Sarupam and you are talking about Brahman. Why are you dealing with some other subject matter? No, it is like I'm asking how much rice is there, and you say, no, take the dal first. So you are giving uncorrected answer. So Yamadharma says, my dear Nachiketas, etat vaitat. This Brahman is not very far away. This is your very Swarupam, your very being, your nature. So the very Sat in you is Brahman. The very Chit in you is Brahman. Or you can say, I am Atma Brahmaha. The Mahavakya, that Atma itself is Brahman only. So we then go to the next verse. यदिदं किं च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रम् उद्यतं य एतद्विदुरामृतास्ते भवन्ति यत् इदं किं च जगत्सर्वं प्राण एजति निःसृतं महद्भयं वज्रम् उद्यतं य एतद्विदुरामृतस्ते भवन्ति. So yat itam kimcha jagat sarvam. Everything in this world that you see, everything in this universe that we see, yat itam jagat sarvam. The whole universe with whatever is inside it, filled within it. Sarvam prana ejati nisritam. All of this emerges from that Brahman only. Yeah? So you will say prana, and I am saying Brahman. We have to understand that Shruti talks in different senses. When we look at other Upanishads, we can see that when Brahman is the source of all the what we call the 16 kalas, the 16 essences out of which the universe is manifest. So out of that, the first is the most superior is said. It comes in Prashna Upanishad also and other places also. So there also that prana is the first manifestation. The life force is the first manifestation of out of Brahman. So therefore, we in the visible universe, the visible form of Brahman is prana. So here we take that meaning as of prana as Brahman. So prana ejati nisritam. Everything vibrates nisritam. Everything we saw. I was telling about the snake also, no, about Sheshnag. So that basically means someone that moves with the curved motion. No? So this curved motion or this vibration is everything that is provided by Brahman only. And then Mahadbhayam Vajram Udyatam. No? He instills great terror, Mahadbhayam. And not just simply, he has a weapon in his hand, uplifted thunderbolt, Vajram Udyatam. So that Vajra, that thunderbolt is there in his hand, by which he instills fear, by which fear everything in the world functions. So, ya etat vidura amritaha te bhavanti. So, ya etat viduhu, the one who knows that, the one who understands this. Amritaha te bhavanti. They become immortal. Such a person becomes immortal. So this in this way, Brahman is manifesting the whole world and controlling the whole world. He is the what we call the Niyamakaha, the one who provides the laws by which the universe is going to run. All the laws. So the same idea which we saw in the previous verse, it is clarified here that not only this Brahman that we are talking about is the very Upadan Karanam. Of what is the Upadan Karanam? Can anyone tell quickly in English or maybe explain it? Urshita, what is Upadan Karanam? I'm testing if you all are listening. Anita,
Efficient cost, material costs.
material. Yes, efficient is the consciousness. Material cause is the material. Upadan Karanam. Up Adan, Yat Adaya Pravartate, from which existence is given to anything. So he is the material cause. So Yamadharmaraja here is saying this Brahman is the Upadan Karan, and also here he is also the intelligent cause, Nimitta Karanam also. Because Yad Idam Kimcha Jagat Sarvam Prana Ejati. All the movement in the universe is provided by it only. So therefore it is the intelligent cause of this universe also. So Nimitta Karanam also of this universe here. So Nimitta Karanam is the efficient cause. So just like the potter and the mud. So the pot is made by the potter out of the mud. So mud is the Upadan Karanam and the potter is the Nimitta Karanam. So here Yamadharmaraja says, Idam Sarvam Jagat, this whole universe or cosmos, whatever it consists of, Chetanam, Achetanam, Charam, Acharam, micro, macro, everything without exception. So Prane Ejati Nisritam, it emerges only in the presence of Brahman. Nisritam, meaning it emerges out only and all the vibration is provided to it. So just as the dream world emerges only from the waker, as we saw earlier, you are the basis from which the entire dream world emerges or arises. Here we have to carefully note the word prana we saw means Brahman. So it is a rare meaning. Normally it means the prana means the panch prana our five energies or the life force within us. But in this context, it is pranasya pranaha, the one that moves pranaha. So if you split the two word pranaha and ejati according to Sandhi rule, it will become prane plus ejati. Prane sati ejati. So prane sati means in the presence of Brahman. Nisritam, it emerges out. So not only does it emerge out, it also functions. Ejati, it also moves. It revolves, only blessed by Brahman. So the creator is also Brahman. You can understand this, because we are saying Brahman, but you can also use the word Ishvara because Brahman with Maya is the wife has to be there. No, without wife nothing gets done. So therefore, even if you are doing a yajna, you can't do without a wife. So prana ejati nisritam. So Brahman with Maya, with his creative power, that is Ishvara. He is providing all this movement in this world, right? So it functions, it moves about, revolves. So the creator Brahman, the maintainer is also Brahman. So how do you know that Brahman is there as the protector? So the Upanishad gives a symbolic expression here, like Brahman is a policeman with a weapon in his hand, a Mahadbhayam. Someone everyone fears. So Brahman is a great source of fear. So it's not in the negative sense, but in the sense that someone who wields authority, he controls, everyone obeys it. So with the weapon in hand, what is the weapon? Vajram Udyatam Iva. So Brahman is like the one with the Vajra Ayudaha. That thunderbolt is there in his hand. Udyatam, ready for use. So he is a source of great fear with this weapon in hand. And how do you know that this Brahman or Ishwar is policing the universe? Because I don't see Bhagwan standing there with Vajrayudham. I went up in a satellite and saw he was not there. So how do you know Bhagwan is policing the universe? He says, because of that alone, the whole universe is functioning in order. The very orderliness of the universe. The planets are moving, the earth is moving around the sun, earth is moving around itself also. So, how much speed? No, the earth is, I think, around 60,000 miles per hour around the sun. And on its own axis also, mm, it is moving at about 1,000 miles per hour. So, or whatever be the exact figure. So, that movement is there because of some laws, the laws of the universe. Everything is there at the exact space. If the earth were slightly bit closer to the sun, you would get burnt, or if it was slightly far away, everything would be frozen. That level of accuracy is there in everything that is happening. So very orderliness of the universe, the it has been maintained by some conscious force. So who is maintaining all these things? And if any one of these movements is stopped, our very survival is in trouble. So not only is the movement steadily maintained, but the distance we saw, distance is maintained. So that same intermediary distance, who is maintaining? So the law is, wherever the order is maintained, there must be the intelligence behind it. Yeah. So, yatra yatra niyamah tatra tatra niyamagah. The rules of rules of Vedanta we saw. I have posted also. So, yatra yatra niyamah tatra tatra niyamagah. So, wherever there is a niyam, a rule, there will be a niyamak, a conscious enforcer of this rule. Now, how do you prove that? Just look at wherever the traffic in India, you'll find this very easily. And look at the traffic corner. As long as there is a policeman there, you will find traffic is moving in order. People will follow. So you, anywhere you find the traffic is moving in order, you will find there is a policeman there. So if he has gone away for a cup of tea or something, so then everything will go haywire. Also, it's not just in India, other places also. It is because of fear that people are disciplined, because they know that there is someone watching. The cameras are there, so the cameras will let them know they'll be caught. So next day the judge will be questioning you. Yes, the camera is showing this is the time that you crossed past the line when the red light was still there. So therefore the law enforcer has to be there. And no, any law will need someone to enforce the law. So therefore, any law that is created by, say, the government, that is promulgated by the government, so immediately for that you have a law enforcing authority. So the judiciary will need a executive also, executive. So because no law enforces by itself, it's not that you write the law, people will start obeying it. You can observe in many places, wherever it's written, don't throw trash here, you'll find the trash on that sign only. So therefore, the moment you have a new law, you have got a group of people to enforce the law. So if you require an enforcing intelligence for the what you call the miserable human created law, then what to talk of the powerful universal law, which are very strictly maintained. It is only because of this universal intelligence that is called Ishvara. So then, what does Yamadharma Raja say? Ye etad viduhu. Suppose they know this, no, Nimit Upadan Karanam Brahman, or otherwise properly known as Ishvara. So those who gain this Ishvara Jnanam or Brahman, the benefit, what is the benefit for them? Te amritaha bhavanti. They will attain immortality. So then you can supply from your side etad vetad, which is there in the previous verses, not mentioned here. So Brahman has said to Nachiketas, you wanted to know through the third boon. This Brahman is not far away above in the clouds, standing. The very law that we violate, and it gives you punishment. In fact, every suffering that we undergo, every suffering, anything negative that happens to us is a punishment given by the Lord for the violation of one law or the other. So just as the moment you violate the health law, what is the consequence? We get sick. The sickness is the punishment for the violation of the health law. Similarly, Bhagwan's punishment for the violation of the universal law known as dharma is our sorrows in life. Wherever we do adharma, we get sorrows in life. So these sorrows then cannot be mitigated or removed until we correct our attitude, until we correct what is happening to us, or whatever we think or whatever we do wrongly, until we correct that attitude, those punishments will keep coming. So therefore, what we have seen is all the laws of the universe, which is controlled by the devas. The devtas control them. So these devtas then in turn they obey the Lord. So that we'll see in the next verse also. So now we'll try to understand how this enforcement of rules plus the understanding of our true nature should be understood by us. Huh? So first we have to, we saw earlier also no, that Agni, Rupam, Pratirupam, Babhuvaha. Agni takes up the different forms. So this Agni of Brahman, it moves the world. And it has created this Jagat Vriksha, this tree. Huh? So earlier we saw it takes up different forms, Rupam, Pratirupam, Babhuvaha. This Agni is called Barhi. Huh? Barhi comes from the Brihat, Vridhatu, one that increases exponentially. So Agni increases as it comes in contact with combustible substances. Same way, Paramatma also increases by his infinite powers and because of his all-pervading nature also, right? So to reach Paramatma, we have to do what we call prapancha upashamam. We have to negate the world of names and forms. So how to negate or stay away? When Jiva doesn't go towards the world, then how will the world enter him? If you open your eyes only, the world will enter you. आंखें खोलिए तभी संसार आपकी आंखों के द्वारा अंदर घुसेगा. So if you don't see them or if you don't have what we call pravritti, you don't have attraction or don't have a desire to do something in the world, to attain something, then they will not bother you. So this is what we call the Agni Rupatva of man. He is taking the form of Agni. So now what is this Agni? We saw outside, we saw this Agni is there. Then same Agni is inside also. This same Agni is inside also. Outside it is Rupam, Pratirupam, Babhuva. We saw in the earlier verse. So it is manifesting all the names and forms. This Agni only. So besides that, what about the inner Agni? This inner Agni is also the very same Brahman. It is not something separate. So the fire in the body is also available for perception. How we can see every day, no? It is keeping the body alive. Or you can check with the thermometer if you doubt it. It is maintaining the same temperature. So where did it come from? No one is burning a fire inside us. No one is burning a fire inside us by which this temperature is coming. So this inner fire is maintained by the Lord within us. And this inner fire does not give us dukkham like the outside fire. This inner fire gives us sukha, joy. But if it is not functioning properly, then you need to take medicines. So then there is the outer fire. The outer fire is what? It burns you. It burns your body. It gives you pain. So outer fire is of the nature of rupa, rasa, gandha, not just the roop wali agni. It is of the nature of all these roop, rasa, gandha, sparsha. And when you make them the object of your senses, when you make the objects available to your senses, then because of your attraction, disturbances and pain are born. So we have to watch our outer thoughts and desires. We have to keep on remembering time to time. And what about the inner fire? Inner fire is of the nature of light, prakashmaya. It is of the nature of light. And whenever you offer something to it, you get back joy. It is peaceful. Shant rupam, shantakaram bhujam. So it is something, if something from outside will enter, then there is a reaction and you have fever. So it will, so cause will always be outer. So if there is any disturbance in the inner Agni, there will be something entering from outside which has disrupted it. So like diseases will enter us, infection. So they will upset the balance. So unless something enters, the inner fire is, when something has not entered, you can say, unless something enters, the inner fire is calm and it's a giver of joy. But what about Ishvara? For Ishvara, there is no object in the world that is outer. सब कुछ तो उनके अंदर ही है. Right? So therefore, everything is inside him. So for Ishvara, the world is also joy giving. So Shruti calls this vision as Advait. They've seen we can also be like Ishvara. We can also have the vision of Ishvara. So where you will have this vision of non-duality, what we call Advaita Drishti, then the outer fire will also not burn you. Such a wonderful thing. Outer fire will also not burn you too. The more you remove the outer vision, what is this outer fire? The Vishaya Jnanam, the Vishaya Pravritti, the Vishaya Ragadvesha. That is the outer fire. So the more you remove this outer vision, the more the inner vision will be strengthened. And the more it happens, the more we move towards Shivam. or auspiciousness. Shiva is auspiciousness. So, and then whatever we do, it becomes auspiciousness also. So then, whenever we say, I want something, then that thought doesn't come to us once we develop this vision. We stop wanting things for our greed. We only take whatever is needed for necessary survival. So there we have to offer ourselves to this inner Agni, or you can say what we call surrendering or killing ourselves. Meaning, what is this killing? Meaning separating the body from the sentiency, from the Chetana, body and consciousness. So then we conquer death. Then we conquer death. Once we separate the sentiency, amritaha te bhavanti, then that is conquering of death. So what is death? One who sees duality goes from death. Mrityu sa mrityum apnoti. Ya nana iha pashyate. We saw in another realm, in another world, when we were earlier looking at this few first chapter. Na? So duality is death. So duality is death. Then hunger and desires also go away. So hunger is not just for hunger for food. Hunger is for all objects of the world which we enjoy and with all the sense organs. So when duality goes, Dvaitam goes, hunger also goes. So hunger is what is hunger for? Hunger is for something that is apart from you. आपसे अलग कोई चीज है तो ऐसी तो नहीं. You cannot have hunger for something within you. So the or the object also cannot have hunger for itself. The rasgulla is not hungry for the rasgulla. I want that rasgulla. So that feeling emerges, and then uh, uh, when I control that feeling, when we are freed of that feeling, then we are freed of the curse of ignorance. Because of ignorance, we see objects outside of us, we want to attain them, and then we get caught in them. So then, once we get this, once we ignite this Agni within us, this Agni of Gyan, this Agni of knowledge, then even in the Vedas also, no, Agni is representing the Asamanta Janati, the inner knowledge within us, the inner consciousness within us. So then we don't desire objects. So then what happens? Do we not stop needing objects? No, we request the Lord to carry them to us. We become dependent, we surrender to the Lord. So in Gita also Bhagavan says, no, yoga shema vahami aham. Avaha means doesn't mean just that Lord will give it to you. He will carry it on his shoulders to you. Bhagavan says, I will carry your needs to you on my shoulder. So Avaha is not just providing, it is coming and delivering. He is becoming the postman also, or the delivery courier man also. So this is the courage of the Vedika. Someone who has this Vedika vision, he doesn't ask for the Naam and Roop to come to him. He also asks for the Adhishtan. सिर्फ नाम रूप नहीं चाहिए, सच्चिदानंद भी चाहिए. I want so the substratum also to come. So Bhagwan also will come with that substance. So Brahman will also come, or Ishvara will also come in the way of Satchitanand. So name and form are also available to the samsari or the worldly for person who attains it by yajna. Yeah, when you attain by yajna, you get the name and form. Name and form means what? The object. जो भी चीज आप मांग रहे हो, है ना? तो आपने यज्ञ किया, आपको वो कर्म के फल में मिल गया. Because of yajna, you will get it. Then what is the speciality of getting this from Paramatma? You get substances by karma as well as Ishwar Anugrah. We saw earlier. There are two ways of getting a substance. Karma se bhi milta hai, Ishwar Anugrah se bhi milta hai. So whenever you receive as a blessing of the Lord, with the substance will be the remembrance of the essence of Ishvara. What is his essence? Satchitanand. So Ishvara has also come along with the object. तो मुझे ईश्वर भी साथ मिले. So that comes along with the substance, and with it will become the thankfulness. A thankfulness for Ishvara, for making it available to us, bringing it to us. So while enjoying it, no, the heart will be full of thankfulness to the Lord. सदा हम लोग उस आभार में रहेंगे. So because of that. So whereas of something, but if something is received as a fruit of my action, as something that I say I've done some hard work, because of that I've attained that, then the enjoyment will be there. Rasa will be there. The rasa swad will be there. But the remembrance and thankfulness of Ishvara and its permeation in the heart, filling your heart, that won't be there. That won't be there. So instead, instead of that, what will happen? There will be an increase of ego. ईगो बढ़ जाएगा, मैंने किया, मैंने प्राप्त किया. सो द एंजॉयमेंट इज primary in that case. So there won't be any space in the heart also, because your heart is filled with your ego. So then the gratitude will not be there. So therefore, it is different from the Ishvara Anugrah. So many times, people doubt. I mean, that if substances are received as Prarabdha or Ishvara Kripa also. So they are available in both ways, but the bhava, the emotion generated by them is different. So the one who remembers Ishvara during pain, सब कहते हैं ना, विषय दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई, और उल्टा बोल दिया, सुख में सिमरन सब करे, दुख में करे ना कोई. सो वन हु रिमेम्बर,
नो, दुख में सब करते हैं, सुख में कोई, सुख में तो
हाँ दुख में, सॉरी, हाँ ठीक है, आई सेड राइट, अच्छा ठीक है, हाँ दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, जब दुख आता है, व्हेन ओनली पेन कम्स देन वी, हाँ, सो राइट. So the one who remembers Ishvara during pain only, he will get so he will get joy only as a fruit of action. So he is remembering only during dukha only, no? So dukh mein sumiran kar raha hai. So when he gets this fruit of action, or he gets joy, that will come to the person who remembers Ishvara only during pain. But what about the other person, the one who remembers in Sukha also, the one who remembers Ishvara in joy also, he will get joy as a blessing of the Lord. हाँ, उसको उसको वस्तु मिलेगी ईश्वर अनुग्रह से. He will get object as ईश्वर अनुग्रह, as because Lord is ready to give. So due to gratitude, this ego will decrease. Reverse of that other person. The gratitude will decrease and disappear. So such a person has gratitude for Ishvara in both joy and sorrow, and not just in joy. He will have always, Lord, you are there for me. Whereas for the other, the person who's selfish, you can say, his friendship with Ishvara is as the giver of fruit of action. That's why if fruit is not as per their expectations, then they break up the relation with Ishvara. Some people do it, no, when a calamity or death occurs in the family, or someone near or dear to them happens, then they get angry with God. मैंने इतने साल तुम्हें पूजा की, they say I worship you so much, and now you did this to me, so I give forsake you. मेरे पास, मैं तुम्हें छोड़ता हूँ. I heard once about a person, a good gentleman who was he worshipped Ganesha every day, and his son died, and then he took the idol and he threw it on the roadside, and was very, very angry. And he said that you were not there for me. So that is not the right attitude. The situations are coming to us, life, death, they are all going to come as per. So therefore, we have to learn to keep our attitude proper. So there is another difference also if you think carefully. All the actions, who is doing the actions? All the actions are done by the body when impelled by the mind. मन पुश करता है, शरीर कर्म करता है ना. So you can say anatma is doing the action. So fruit will go to whom? कर्म का फल किसको जाएगा? कौन कर्म कर रहा है? Who is doing karma? The body and mind. So karma phalam will also go to body and mind only, na? Anatma only. Atma doesn't do action, so it will never get fruit. And I have the false ego that I am the doer and I should receive the fruits. So therefore, we have to understand Prakriti is made of the three gunas. All objects are effects of those three. So the wise knows that I am not the doer. It is the gunas that are interacting with each other. So he never gets attached. We think that enjoyment of the mind and body is our own, but enjoyment doesn't belong to Atma. Enjoyment is not real. So there are different kinds of enjoyment. Like sometimes when we feed our child, especially mothers, when they feed our child, we feel that we are enjoying. If the child is eating, तुमने खाया मेरा पेट भर गया. But actually, does it happen? After some time, you will feel hungry. है ना? So that enjoyment is also not real. So when time comes, we will be hungry. So that enjoyment, the kids are enjoying, I am also enjoying. So therefore, then how will the fulfillment for the Atma come? Atma hunger is only for Paramatma. Atma's hunger is not for worldly objects. अनात्मा का भूख अनात्मा के लिए है, आत्मा का भूख आत्मा के लिए. So the non-self is hungry only for the non-self. The self is hungry only for the self. Because when Paramatma dwells in his heart, he is available, then only fulfillment comes. That is his search all his life. And once he gets the knowledge, that search ends. So Atma can have a relationship with only Paramatma, and that relationship is what relationship? Relationship of oneness. We saw Tadeva Brahma, Tad Shukram, and also the oneness that is said in the all the verses. So, so this Paramatma and Atma relation is not of Sanyog. Understand carefully. It is not a relation of two things joining or coming together. Because when two things are joined, no, the separation still remains. And there are two pipes you have joined by welding. The joint is there, but on both sides, the different parts still exist. So if you think that Atma will can be joined, then Atma will be with parts. उसके पार्ट्स हो जाएंगे. But Sanyog is of Anatma object only. Sanyog is always of Anatma. So Jiva with ego will carry all the Anatma. Wherever the Jiva is going, no. So whenever the Jiva is you say filled with ignorance, filled with ignorance. So then Agyan is there. So because of Agyan, what will come? Ego will come. अहंकार आ जाएगा. From ego, avidya, ahankar, then kamna will come. Then kamna will come, then karma will come. Then karma will come, then buddhi. Then buddhi, man, chit, and then the jnana indriya, karma indriya, prana, पांचों तत्व all will come. All these are 27 components. इसी को हम 27 नक्षत्र कहते हैं. These are what we call the 27 nakshatras. So these are connected to the mind, just like the moon is connected to the 27 nakshatras. So all these are coming together. Therefore, when we are with ignorance, this whole world of different phases of life, it comes to capture our mind. So, but what about the other person, the one without ego? He will only grasp the essence. He will not look after all of these. He will grasp only the essence or Satchitanand from all these 27 objects and become one with the essence. So Veda gives this gives a term for this. Rayas Posham Sahasrinam. We were looking at this in the Veda also. So Rayas Posham Sahasrinam. Rayaha or Poshaha. So Raya is what? Wealth. So wealth is not just the physical wealth. The wealth is of self-knowledge. Wealth is the main wealth, the only wealth, the actual wealth is self-knowledge. Worldly wealth is used to obtain worldly objects. Same way, self-knowledge is used to obtain the Atma. And Poshaha is the nourishment. Is the nourishment which gives this, which gives us Atma Balam. Because of nourishment, we get Atma Bal or the conviction that my knowledge has been right, that I am able to hold on. So this wealth, be very careful in understanding this term. This wealth is strengthened by Nivritti. Nivritti is giving up ownership or giving up the sense of doership or attraction. Nivritti, इसे ना किसी चीजों पे निवृत्ति छोड़ना. प्रवृत्ति is to engage in doing activities. So nivritti is giving up attraction to worldly objects. So we usually have the attitude in the world, we usually have this attitude in the world that we want like to work. हमें काम नहीं करना है, but we want the fruits of the work. बिना काम किए फल मिल जाए, we all would be very happy if that can come. So we want the fruits of work to come easily to us. We want the fruit of work, that is, what is the fruit of work? Wealth, money, है ना? So that we want, but we don't want to do the hard work to acquire it. So in the same way, we want the ananda from self-knowledge. वो आनंद तो सबको चाहिए, है ना? We want that ananda. But the penance, tapasya, the sacrifice, the desirelessness, yajna, dana, all that is needed for that, we don't want. We don't want to work for it. हम मेहनत नहीं करना चाहते, है ना? So somewhere we learned, no, some in Vedant course that jnana is not attained by karma. Na karma, na prajaya, na karmaya, na dhane, na pratyag. We only see that part. But what is the next? Tyagena ekatva amritatva manashu. Only by tyaga that immortality is attained. So but so therefore we don't remember that karma is needed for chitta shuddhi. That karma, we need to do action. We need to do karma for chitta shuddhi, and we don't. And if we don't have that, then we cannot make the jnanam our own. जब तक हमारे पास चित्त शुद्धि नहीं है, हमारा ज्ञान अपना नहीं होगा. So, like we don't do business or we won't do a job because it is our duty. We don't do that because it's our duty, and but we because we are greedy for the wealth that can be acquired from it. Huh? So and then we get jealous of the wealth acquired by others. मेहनत तो की नहीं दूसरों के पास है, so we haven't worked hard, so we get jealous of others. But nothing is free or nothing comes without effort. So the Viveki, he knows that. Viveki knows that if he has disinterest in karma, then he should have the same disinterest in the fruit also. अगर आपके कर्म के प्रति उदासीनता है, if you are not interested in karma, then you should not be expecting the fruit also. Don't expect the fruit also. But if you have interest in the fruit, then you should also have the interest in the action. कर्म भी करना पड़ेगा फिर. You cannot get away. You have to choose either one. So either you can eat the canned food, or you can make the effort to cook yourself. So either eat boiled vegetable, or you make the effort to cook your favorite food. बढ़िया सा आलू दम बनाना है. You want to cook a beautiful, good dish, then you will have to get all the ingredients. You have to work hard. You have to prepare the dish. So therefore, we very, very clearly always remember that the true meaning of nivritti or detachment from action is when you do something. True meaning of nivritti is when you do something, the thought of that task should not be in your mind. So the thought of मैं ये कर रहा हूँ कैसा होगा. So either before or after it. जब कर रहे हो उसी में कर रहे हो. उसको करते समय ना आगे की सोचनी है ना पहले की सोचनी है. That is nivritti. That is nivritti. Yeah? So this is the way of having joyfulness in the world also, not just in the spiritual realm. In the world also, no, when you focus on your work and don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future, then it will not, then your work will be perfect, right? Your work will be perfect. So this is useful in the worldly realm as well as in the spiritual. Of course, it is useful in the nivritti is the main way how we can achieve that smritya, nashkarmya, the feeling of not being the doer. So someone who doesn't know this nivritti, he will not be able to enjoy the fruit of his labor also by becoming one with it. So because even while enjoying the fruit, he is worrying about what he has done in the past or whether he did it properly or not. So even when the fruit comes, no, then he is not enjoying it. So Lord will say, I will not give this guy much fruit. He is not able to enjoy. So therefore, we have to do our task properly without worrying about past preparation or future result. So that is nivritti. So without detachment, there is no joy in the world. Then what to say of the joy of Paramatma? To enjoy this with the proper attitude, we saw that we have to see the Lord in the whole world. Vishwarupa. Rupam Rupam Prati Rupam Babhuva in the earlier verse. So that Vishwarupa. So in that Vishwarupa, what are we seeing? We are seeing this tree, this Ashwatha Vrishya. So what is this tree? This tree is depicting that there are many forms in the world. So many forms in the world. But what should be our attitude when we are interacting with this tree? We look for beauty in each and every form instead of ugliness. हर एक में सौंदर्य को खोजो. हाँ, तो रूप को देखो विरूपता को मत. Look at the beauty, not at the ugliness. So all beings and objects have different forms, different qualities, different types. So he who understands their diversity of form, he remains happy. So he who sees rupaha and he who sees the positivity, that person is happy. And someone who sees virupaha or faults, he stays unhappy. So what do? We see people with different form and qualities, and we want to compare and exchange them. So like some person has two sons. So some person has two sons. Both are different. Always it happens, no, in families. If there are two children, they will never have the same nature. सब अलग अलग स्वभाव के होते हैं. So two sons are there. One of the sons is very, very studious, padaku. He stays up late, works very, very hard, and he tops his class. Doesn't go out much also. Very, very introvert. Maybe you would start to recognize someone within your family hearing all this. He eats very less. And always has some kind of ailment or the other. Kabhi pet kharab, kabhi kuch. So that is one son. Then there is another son. He is the opposite. What is this son doing? He is extrovert, very, very friendly. He's a huge friend circle. He doesn't study also much. He's a mediocre student. He hangs out with friends always. It doesn't work. But otherwise, he's physically very active, and full of good humor. बहुत बातूनी है, अच्छी अच्छी बातें करता है, सबको खुश रखता है. Whenever he is around, everyone is happy. So now, uh, when we just look at it with this rupa, with this vision of beauty, what happens is, then we see that both are good, both are special in their own way. So, but one who doesn't understand this Vishwarupa, one who doesn't understand this world is has so many different varieties, and there will be something positive, something negative in everything, the many forms of nature. That person, he will stay sad for both his sons. For one son, he will say he's not healthy, he stays ill, always अपने में घुसा रहता है, always self-absorbed. And I'm expecting him to be laughing and sometimes, and maybe gain some weight and stay fit. And for the other son also, same thing. They are sad or angry with the other one. Why doesn't he work, or why doesn't he settle down? Why can't he focus? Why can't he eat less? Why can't he be a bit serious? So seeing one, they will remember the other, and seeing the other, they will remember the first one. Why, and vice versa. So they don't get it that the one who studies a lot and stays indoors will naturally not gain weight. He will having lots of tea and coffee to stay awake in the night to study. He will stay tense in anticipation for while studying or for results. So always having butterflies in his stomach. Always having upset tummy also. So how will he have good humor or good health? No. And the other one, due to his outgoing nature, he will naturally have less time for work and home and duties. Both have their own nature. So the happy parent is what? The one who accepts the shortcomings of both and revels in the good qualities of both. So you accept the shortcomings in one, and you also don't get worried with the shortcomings, and you also enjoy the good things. Enjoy the good things. Look at the rupaha, enjoy it, and expect the virupaha. That is the. So we have to remember, all of us in every time, that the world has a lot of variety. So with good qualities, we will be mixed the bad ones too. There will always be difference. You can see the difference even in Bhagwan avatar, Bhagwan Ram and Bhagwan Krishna. So many differences. So if I go into the details, I'll need another class for that. But one killed, Rama killed the brother of Sugriva for snatching his wife, whereas Karna was asked to come back. He was also offered that Draupadi will be there with him also. So because we have to have that vision to understand that when Krishna Bhagwan is saying those things, he is the supreme tactician. He has learned how to control the war, how to give the final good result to the persons who are dharmic. So that is the final aim. So both have different ways of seeing that. Maybe we'll look at it sometime. So in this way, the one who sees negativity, he will see negativity in both. He will say why Ram Bhagwan left his wife. Everywhere we can find. So that is why whenever we are studying Shastra, the most important thing, uh, people will find faults. You can't go and answer them. सबका जवाब नहीं दे सकते आप. But what can you learn? What can you learn if you keep the vision of beauty? You keep the vision of what is inside that I can take as a positive for myself, something that I can add to my life, something that I can make myself better. So the essence, Satchit Anand, is behind everything. And that is how what we have to learn to see. Once we learn to see the essence, then we can see the one in the many. So let us say we make four groups, each of four apples, four oranges, four grapes, four mangoes. Now, the number four is common to all. सब में four है. But are they same? Are they all the same? No. The mango is sweet and juicy. The apple is a bit less juicy and less sweet. The grape is sour, sweet, and slightly juicy. Orange is more juicy and sweet and sour. So therefore, all have different size, shape, taste, everything is different. Nutrition is different, fulfillment is different. They're all different. Huh? So all these are grasped by what? The sense organs only. But what about the number? The number four that we have. The number four, it cannot be grasped by the sense organs. The number can be grasped only by the buddhi, the intellect. हाँ, बुद्धि ही गिन सकती है ना. It is the buddhi. So therefore, numbers can be grasped only by the intellect. So the one who knows how to count that numbers can't be seen, heard, touched, taste by any of the five senses. So for that person, all the groups are just different items. Huh. But the wise person, he can visualize the numbers. So therefore, when we how do we use this vision of numbers to God? To grasp the concept of Satchitanand, that the wise person sees all the different objects of the world and the variety of flavors and qualities, but he sees all of them in the essence of Satchidananda. In all of them, the essence is Satchidananda. So there are many bunches. Every being is a bunch of properties and forms. We are all a bunch of properties and forms. There are many differences also among us, but the wise person sees the common oneness in all of them. So just like the intelligent person sees the common number four, he's seeing the common number four, which on all the groups. But the one who is not doesn't know numbers, he doesn't have the concept. So this Satchidanand is not seen by the eyes or perceived by any sense organs. It is an object of the intellect, but what intellect? Not any intellect. It is the object. This Satchidanand is an object of the intellect, enlightened by Shastra. Shastra and Guru Updesh, you can say. So just like the mind enlightened with the concept of numbers, the mind has the sense of numbers. He can objectify the numbers inherent in the objects. जो जो objects है उसकी गिनती बता सकता है. In the same way, an intellect enlightened by the Guru's teaching and Shastric knowledge can grasp the concept of self-knowledge. Can grasp the concept of self-knowledge. So that Paramatma not being an object of perception, you cannot see Paramatma ever. हम कोई देख नहीं सकते ना, तो it can't be verified by other means. So, something that Lord will be seen if you close my eyes and sense organs. But how long will you close them? When you open, this Vishwarupa will come again. So, unless you have the practice of seeing the Lord in this Vishwarupa, you will get disturbed again and again. So, if you see the outside as separate, then how will the oneness of Brahman be visualized? So, Shruti says, watch the playground of the world, see that the player has the one essence. The player is the Lord, and the player has the one essence, and that will strengthen this Brahma Bhava. And then we have to keep practicing till this vision is attained. So how is that practice to be done every day? Today time is up. We'll look at in the next class how that practice, because just knowing Brahman is not enough. The practice has to come. The strengthening of that bhava, the practice of it being part of our nature, that has to be done. So how we can relate this concept of numbers to understanding this Brahman, more we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat.